Hey everyone, Evan here. If you want to see more anime analysis content, please like and subscribe. I'd be eternally grateful for your support. Carole and Tuesday is a story of duality. It covers the immense beauty of music and its ability to inspire others, and also the way in which the music industry can crush those that find success. As a jazz drummer that tried to make it in New York City and burnt out, Carole and Tuesday was exactly what I needed to remind me why I originally fell in love with music. When I began, music was magic. Saying everything in my mind through the drums and watching people move their feet and dance because of me, I've never experienced anything quite like it. But as I gained proficiency and went to college to study my craft, the pressures increased. I began to compare myself to others and lose my sight of why I made music in the first place. I started to practice out of a sense of obligation, not passion. I feared for the stability of my future financially, and I felt crushed by the expectations I had placed on myself to be successful. After months of this pressure, I cracked and moved back home. I felt like I had lost the magic of music. I didn't have the urge to play or listen. I felt nauseated by the thought of it. The commodification of art is something that's hard to navigate. I can already feel the pressure of keeping up a strict upload schedule on YouTube where I do all the script writing and editing myself. Sometimes I struggle to remember why I do all of this in the first place, why I make art. After college, I felt like I was losing all my passion, and then I saw Carole and Tuesday. The narrative decision to make all pop music written by AI is an amazing metaphor. The music industry today often breeds inauthenticity. The need to stay relevant and popular is rampant, and people often cave to others' expectations of them instead of speaking their own truth. Having their music being written by AI represents this inauthenticity, this need to be the best artist instead of being the most authentic artist you can be. The ways in which the industry affected the different artists in this show and how they were brought back from the brink of giving up by Carole and Tuesday's passion spoke to my heart. Angela, Ertgun, and Flora are three examples of how the industry crushes those that seek success. Angela represents the toxicity of aiming to stay relevant and to be the best. When Angela was young, she sang for the joy of it. It made her feel happy. Then, after spending some time as a model, her mother pushed her to rebrand as a singer in order to stay relevant and to be remembered. This pressure to stay relevant, a pressure that's all too prevalent in artists, made her passion dissipate and be replaced with fear. Fear that she's not good enough. Fear that she'll be forgotten. Tao's AI creating the perfect song for her and forcing her to sing that song through literal torture represents this impossible standard of being the best. She gave everything to be the best, and in the end, realized that no one really knew her. They only knew the facade she had put up. She won the Best Artist Award at the Grammys, and yet it wasn't enough. It's never enough. Because art isn't about being the best, it's about expression and passion. Carole and Tuesday reminded Angela of this, and in the last episode, she comes back to sing with all the other artists that have been broken by the industry. Ertgun represents the artist's ego and its fragility. He began his music career by writing his own music, but moved to AI once he became rich and famous. He created a larger-than-life persona for himself, and forgot about the love of music. It became all about the money and fame. He began to equate his self-worth with how his fans saw him, and when he lost his wealth, his fans turned on him. This absolutely crushed his ego, and he started to see himself as trash. When Roddy pushed him to write his own music, he was terrified of embarrassing himself. He had a conversation with himself, one side telling him he should give up to not embarrass himself, and the other side reminding him who he is, Ertgun, the man who swore to be the pinnacle of music, the man who had made the world dance. He rediscovers his ego, but it comes from somewhere much more secure than his wealth or his fans. He finds it in himself. After this point, he looks down on the others way less and joins the other formerly broken artists in Carole and Tuesday's magical performance. Ertgun shows that a self-image for artists has to come from within and not from any external source of validation. Flora represents the dream of the starving artist, and how achieving it can leave one feeling empty. She came from a poor family, and her parents both died because they couldn't afford hospital treatments. She loved singing and wanted to escape poverty through her voice. She achieved her goal, and over time became famous, wealthy, and affluent. But as her dream was realized, she felt more alone than she ever had. She had to sacrifice her own authenticity, represented by leaving Gus behind, in order to reach her goal. But the guilt of leaving the one that truly cared about her behind ate at her. The people around her were only there because of her fame, and she quickly spiraled into substance abuse until she could no longer function. After a long time of avoiding singing, seeing the pure joy and passion in Carole and Tuesday's cover of her song moved her to sing along, and she ends up joining Carole and Tuesday's magical performance. She shows the damage that reaching success for an artist can cause. Carole and Tuesday represent what got all these artists into music in the first place, what got countless people into art in the first place. Something that's incredibly easy to lose after spending time in any artistic industry under capitalism, especially when everyone's music is written by AI. Carole and Tuesday represent the feeling of having something to say, and saying it through art. They're not trying to be the best or stroke their own egos or become famous. They just want to share their emotions with others through song. The wanting to move others through art is what inspires these artists to join them in their magical concert. It's something that all artists can actively work on holding on to. This message of never forgetting to stay true to yourself as an artist is perfectly represented by the last moments of the show. Will be continued in your mind. This has been Evan. Thank you for watching.